Hello, hello. My name is Emily Hutchinson, and I'm your host for this week's PEEPSONALITY Live. And PEEPSONALITY Live is this really fun thing where we do recipes and crafts on Peeps Instagram and Facebook. So if you're curious and you want to see past episodes, some of my friends have made like the most amazing crafts. You can go to peepsbrand.com or scroll through the Instagram and social media and you can find the PEEPSONALITY Lives. There's also a hashtag that you can, the PEEPSONALITY Live hashtag, you can check out people's episodes and stuff. So it's really fun. It's a fun thing that we've been doing for years, and I'm so excited to be back hosting this week's PEEPSONALITY Live. Again, if you're just hopping on, my name is Emily Hutchinson, and you can find me at the Hutch Oven on Instagram and Facebook, but I am a two-time cookbook author and I'm a TV cookie competition judge, and I love sharing my recipes and decorating all over. I do a lot of TV and it's really fun, you know, to help people learn, and classes especially, because I feel like the classes are really hands-on and you can really, you know, kind of see how to do things. So first things first, my sister is manning the camera. So Joe, say hi. She's gonna wave her hand, say hi. She's amazing. So she's gonna help kind of focus on things that we need to focus on, so you guys can really learn at home. But I'll show you right here what we're making. So see, we've got this cute little cookie, and you can see the party cake peep on there. So this recipe is the party cake Peeps cookie recipe that I developed with you in mind. It is so delicious. It's got kind of like the crumble cookie texture. It is just a delicate, beautiful, delicious cookie. So I'm going to show you how to bake those up today, and then we're going to do a couple decorating things, and I'll share tips and tricks with you, because that's what I'm really known for, is I share a lot of tips and tricks. Again, if you're just hopping on now, welcome to the PEEPSONALITY Live. I am Emily Hutchinson, and we are baking and decorating Peeps Party Cake Cookies. But for the sake of this class and television, I've already got the cookies baked. So, but I'm gonna show you how to make the dough. Second things, because I already said first things first. So we have to melt our Peeps, and I've got 6 of the party cake Peeps in here, and we're gonna melt these in a microwave safe bowl, and we're only gonna melt them for about 20 seconds. So I'm gonna pop these in the microwave right behind me, and we'll do 20 seconds. And if your microwave, you know, cooks really high or hot, you know, everyone's microwave is different, just like ovens. They're all different, but you don't want to cook it to where they're, you just want them to like puff up. You don't want them to be melted. And so while those are in the microwave, I've already got my salt and my unsalted butter and my sugar in my mixing bowl. Excuse me, I'll grab these out. So here are the melted Peeps, and I'm gonna let them sit here for about, I wanna say a minute or two, just because we don't want these to make our butter melt. So those are set aside, and I've already creamed this for about 2 minutes. And this is a really important step. So I'm going to now add, I'm going to scrape down the sides of my bowl. So this is really important. You'll see in my recipe I do this a few times, because when you're using a stand mixer, that stuff, the butter and the sugar, gets stuck down in the bottom, and you want to make sure the salt is mixed all the way in there. And don't forget to preheat your oven. So if you're making these with me, make sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees so we can get it nice and hot. I like to preheat my oven like really in advance, because I feel like after it dings and you open the oven, it lets a lot of that hot air escape. So if you let it preheat a little bit longer, it's gonna really heat up the walls of your oven. So when you open it up to put in your cookies, it's gonna be just hot and perfect. So I kind of, I would say let it preheat about 5 minutes after your oven dings. That's the word, the dings. Okay, so I'm gonna add in my melted Peeps now straight down into my bowl. And I'm gonna mix that up. You know what I love about these party cake Peeps is they have this rich, buttery, cake-like taste to them, and so they really complement this cookie recipe. It's so, like, it is so delicious. So we're just gonna mix that in, make sure that it gets all incorporated in with our butter. We might have to scrape down the sides again and stir, which is totally normal. Make sure to do that, like I said. You know, we'll do that a few times during this recipe. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. You can kind of see that pretty butter and that sugar. So what I'm gonna do is I'm scraping again, scraping down my bowl. And so if you're baking cookies, you sometimes, if there's all the cookies look perfect and towards the end of your batches, you might get one that, you know, kind of melts a little bit more, and you're like, why is it doing that? It's because there's clumps of butter in there. So that's why it, again, is so essential to scrape down the sides of your bowl. I'm getting this delicious marshmallow like all over my hand. I will just lick that off later, off of camera. So now I've got that scraped down. I'm gonna mix it again for a second, and then here, I'll actually wipe it off on my, okay, so we've got that mixed. Then I'm gonna add in my pure vanilla extract, and it's also really important to use pure vanilla extract. It's a better quality product. So I'm gonna add the vanilla in right now. And then I'm going to add in my eggs. I've got 2 eggs, and these are cold eggs. I just took them out of the fridge about, I want to say 10 minutes ago. And so I'm going to add them in one at a time. So we've got 1 egg, and we just want to make sure that it doesn't get, you know, separated. And so adding 1 egg at a time really helps incorporate all the ingredients together. Okay, so I'm going to add the other egg in, and then we'll do another scraper in just a second. So this is all mixing and getting combined. It's looking really good so far. So see, I've got a little bit of a clump of that sugar and that butter. So I want to make sure that all gets incorporated. And if it looks like it's separating a tiny bit, that's because your eggs are cold. So if you want your eggs at room temperature, that's totally fine. But for this recipe, it is okay. It's gonna all come together once the flour is added. So you'll see, I'll show you. Okay, so I'm gonna scrape down the sides, and why I'm using such a little tiny spatula, I do not know. I have larger spatulas. That would be helpful, but I'm human. I didn't grab one. Okay, so we're just gonna mix that again, and then we'll stop. And then I'm gonna do the flour. So I have 2 cups and 2 3/4 cups, of flour. It's just all-purpose flour. And the really important thing that I stress in all my recipes is to spoon and level measure your flour. So how to do that is it's just as simple as it sounds. You're going to spoon in your flour into your cup, and this really helps unpack your flour. So when you add it in, it does not cause dry cookies. We don't want dry cookies. So this is what you're gonna do. So you're just gonna level it off with a butter knife, but I already have it all pre-measured right here. So I'll just move that out of the way. But I thought that was really helpful because I always say, you know, spoon and level measure, but then it's like, well, what does that mean? So that's what it means. All right, so, okay, so I've got my flour here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add my cornstarch. And this also helps the cookies stay soft and gives them a really good shape. So don't forget your cornstarch. And then I've got baking powder. So baking powder is a leavening agent, but it's also a tenderizer. So I've got 1 tablespoon added, and I use aluminum-free baking powder, but you can use the Clever Girl brand. I think it's the Rumford brand that is aluminum-free. And I just feel like we're using, you know, a tablespoon of baking powder. Why put aluminum in there? You know, they say it's fine, but try aluminum free. It works just the same, but it doesn't have aluminum in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna whisk my dry ingredients all together. And you wanna make sure to whisk really good because then your baking powder and your cornstarch are gonna be evenly distributed into your, here, I'm gonna steal this towel right here. Evenly distributed. So what I do is I just dump all my flour into my mixer and I cover it up with a towel. But if you don't want to do that, you can go ahead and add a little bit at a time and stir that in. And if you're using a hand mixer, you can do that. I would recommend when you're at the flour section, the flour step, and you're using a hand mixer, I would recommend using a spatula because it won't really mix all together with it kind of gets a little tricky. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hug my mixer with a towel. And then, okay, I'm gonna lock the side. Make sure to lock that up and make sure to know which is your lock and which is your speed. So it doesn't, you don't have a oops. So this is gonna mix and it's just gonna take a second to come together. And what I love about this recipe is it really does come together effortlessly. It's so easy to do. So see, now it's come together in a beautiful dough. Okay, look at this, you guys. Let me unlock it there. Look at how beautiful that is. Okay, so it is a softer dough, but the cookies, so don't panic if it, if you're like, oh, it kind of seems really soft. That is what it's supposed to be like. It's not supposed to be a really super thick cookie dough. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna move that little bit out of the way. And then I've got this extra flour, right? So important to get this extra flour in there because even if you're like a couple tablespoons of flour off, even a tablespoon, it will drastically change your cookies. So I've got this all mixed in. Look at how beautiful that is though. And I can tell you that this cookie dough it's so delicious, you guys. This is one of my most favorite recipes I have developed. Plus I love Peeps and it's almost Easter, so it is perfect. All right, so I've got that. And then what I'm gonna do next is I've got my cookie sheet. So for cookies, the lighter your baking sheet, then the lighter the bottoms of your cookies are gonna be. So I use a straight aluminum restaurant grade baking sheet and I put a piece of parchment paper down. This is going to make sure that the bottoms of your cookies look beautiful like this. So this is the color that you want and they're gonna look like that. You don't want them to be too dark brown. So if you're using, like I said, a darker baking sheet, then you're gonna get darker cookies. But one thing, before I do this, I need to say, I would love to know where you're watching from. That's one thing that I always start with. I did not do that, and you guys are important to me. So I want to know where you're watching from. I want to know what is your favorite Peep. And if you have tried the Party Cake Peeps, because they are unreal. They're so good. So my sister Jo is on comments. And if anyone wants to let us know where they're watching from or to say hi, please let us know. And again, what's your favorite Peep? So Jo, you interrupt me when people tell us what their favorite Peep is. I also learned that people like to freeze their Peeps. Do you guys do that? Ooh. Jo, did you know people freeze their Peeps? That's like a thing that they're like, no, you have to have them frozen or chilled in the fridge. And I did not know that.
I did not know either.
Yes. So
we have New York, New Jersey. We have Miami. We have Arizona.
I love all
DC.
Those places. Oh yes. My gosh. I love that. I'm so glad you guys are here. I love that so much.
Portland, Oregon.
Yes, that's close to
Australia.
Me. Oh, that's far from us. We're in Washington State.
Mexico. Utah. Awesome. Yeah, you've got a lot of people.
Oh, that's amazing.
Hey from the UK. Hey from Texas.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. That's so awesome. Has anyone told us what kind of Peeps they like?
Classic Peeps is the first one to come up.
Okay, what color though? Because some people swear there's a the color is important. So do you care about the color? I need to know that too.
Well, it has been said that they are good if you open them up and let them get stale.
Yes, that I actually like to do that too. And my sister Allie does that. That's really funny. Okay, so when we're scooping out the cookies, I'm using an ice cream scoop, and this is about 1/4 cup ice cream scoop because I like, I like the big cookies. So we want the big, crumble bakery style cookies. And I'm actually, before I do this, I'm gonna break this open so you guys can see the inside. Look at how you can tell how delicate and beautiful that crumb is. It is just so soft. And I think that's, on the outside are a little crisp, and I think that's really, really So important for a cookie, and especially if you're making like a cake-like cookie, right? So, okay, I'm like...
It looks like everyone loves the pink and the yellow.
Yes.
Oh, and a purple.
Yes, okay. I like pink and yellow. I don't eat very many purple ones, but I feel like I need to jump on the purple train. All right, so I've got, like I said, the ice cream scoop, and you're gonna scoop them out, and you're gonna level your scoop off on the side of your bowl, and then you're gonna place them down on top of the parchment, and you're gonna do 6 per tray, and you don't want them too close together. You want them, they obviously spread a little bit, so you wanna space them out, and make sure you're baking these on the middle rack in your oven. So, and you don't wanna put 2 sheets in, you wanna do 1 sheet at a time. And so in between your cookies, in between baking, so you'll put the first batch in, and with these cookies, you'll notice that your second batch might spread a little bit more. And I have a trick for that. So I'll show you. I'm gonna go ahead and put these over here. So you're gonna wanna bake those in your oven for about 12 minutes. 12 minutes is golden for these cookies. So that's what I bake mine at, and they seem to come out absolutely perfect every single time at 12 minutes. And then when they come out of the oven, so as soon as they come out of the oven, now these obviously are cooled a little bit, but, oh, excuse my hands. I have so much stuff on them. Okay, you're gonna take a large cookie cutter and you're going to swirl it around your cookie like this. And obviously these are, you have to do it right when they come out of the oven, because if your cookies cool a little bit, they won't be able, it will not work. They'll be set and they won't work. So go ahead and do that, and it will bring the edges in, and it will make it perfectly round. And then you have the perfect round, beautiful cookie. And it also gives you a little bit of these crinkles in the cookie, which I love. I love the crinkle look. I just, you know, you eat with your eyes first, right? And I don't discriminate against any cookie. I will eat a cookie if it's not round. I will eat any cookie. But if you have a chance to make them, you know, perfectly round for aesthetic purposes, go ahead and do that. It's super fun too. And the kids love that. They love, you know, kind of bringing the sides in of the cookie. So after our cookies are cooled completely, now you're gonna pull these out, and remember that cookies bake a little bit longer when they're sitting on the pan. So you're gonna let them cool for a couple minutes, and then you'll transfer them to a wire rack. So that will help them really set up and finish the cooking stage. So remember that, don't over bake them. That's really, really important. We want a nice soft cookie. And then, Joe, if anyone has any questions, she's like, oh, I was not looking.
I was mesmerized by everything you were saying. I'm sorry, guys.
But also, I'll just go ahead and answer a few things. So if you're dairy-free, there is dairy-free butter you can use. You can go ahead and do that with this recipe. If you are gluten-free, use cup for cup, and maybe take out, I would say, 2 tablespoons to a 1/4 cup of flour. So if it says 2 3/4 cup, then you're gonna wanna do 2 1/2 cup of gluten-free flour, unless you let it rest for a little while. But I have not tried doing it that way, so I can't say that is, but I have done it the other way, so that does work. Okay, so I have another trick. It's with this, so I'll show you in just a second, but we're gonna start the decorating part, which is my absolute favorite. Decorating, it just makes me so happy. So along with the delicious cookie recipe, we have buttercream that has the party cake Peeps in here. So it is so delicious, you guys. Like, I could eat it by the spoonfuls. It's dangerous. So you want to make these and share them with your friends and your family, because they're really, really good and hard not to eat too. Okay, so super simple. I've just got a round piping tip. It's a 1A on the end of my piping bag. And I went ahead and I colored my frosting light pink. You can color it any color you want. Yellow, blue, purple, but the pastel colors work really well with the cute little party cake Peeps. So what you want to do is you want to start in the center, and then you're just going to squeeze, and you're going to go all the way around your cookie, and then you kind of stop right there. Okay, so you're going to kind of pull it in on the edge right here, and then what I also do is I pick it up and I drop it down on my surface, and that will settle the buttercream a little bit. And then I have, well, this is the trick, but I actually could use this cute little cake plate, but when you're at home and you're going to sprinkle these pretty little nonpareils, which are these little sprinkles here, you drop these on the floor, or you're sprinkling your sprinkles on there, they are going to bounce down all over your kitchen forever, and you're going to find them all over the place for years to come, maybe some under your cupboards and all sorts of places. But this cake pan, or if you have any baking sheet, any baking pan that has a lid on a lip on the side, it's built up on the side, so it will keep the sprinkles in. That's the word I was looking for. And then we're going to take the cute little party cake Peeps, and we're going to plop it right down on top of that beautiful buttercream. But then you know what I also have? I also have jelly beans. And so I thought it would be fun to just go ahead and add here. I'll take this out of the pan because it's safe now. Our cookie is safe now. We can take it out. So what if we put like a few little jelly beans around our Oh, I had too much coffee today. I'm like, zzz. Okay, so look, we're just gonna go ahead and add a few little jelly beans, and it looks so cute. You can add sprinkles if you want. You don't have to add the jelly beans, but I am a jelly bean fan, especially the Peeps ones. So they make a perfect addition to the cookie. And, you can add 2 if you want. Just sneak a couple down around there. We'll sneak. Oh, look, it looks like little arms. It's like, hey, guys. I love that. So, well, hey, Emily, what if I don't have piping bags? What if I don't have a piping tip? Well, I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, so if you don't have those things, all you need is a freezer bag. That's it. And I can show you how to do this. So it will look a little different because when you cut the edge of this, it's gonna squeeze out. Here, I'll show you. It doesn't come perfectly round. There's a little bit of because of the shape of the bag, there's a little bit of a flattening that happens when you do this, okay? So let me see. So I'm just gonna wipe that off here, and then we'll start on the cookie. And again, we're gonna start in the middle. So we'll start in the middle right here, and then we'll pipe all the way around, and then see how there's kind of that little like shelf right there. Okay, we can drop. You know what? I don't like this one. We're gonna do a different one. Sorry, guys. We're gonna do. Look at how beautiful that cookie is underneath. This is what the lighter baking sheets do. They bake the most perfect cookies. Okay, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it one more time. So these lines, I'm not sure which way to line it up, but here, this is what I'm gonna do. I just want it to be okay. It's doing that to me again. I think I might have cut it weird. That's okay, but watch this. Okay, so how it's kind of wonky right there, right? So I'll just drop it down a couple times and settle it. Okay, you know what I also can do? Guess what? I also can take a butter knife if I want to and just spread it on. That's all you have to do because the sprinkles and the party cake Peep are the stars of the show. So all you have to do is sprinkle those down and then find a little friend here and then add that right to the middle. See, look at how cute that looks. Mm-hmm. And I did that with a freezer bag. So when you're at home, you can decide if you want to do it that way or if you want to spread it on with a butter knife or pipe it on. But piping bags and piping tips are something that, it's pretty cheap to get from the store. So it's an investment that is worth it because the lines come out perfectly crisp. And I love that. So, you guys, well, listen, I need to know if you have any questions because we are done. This is it. That's all you have to do. We did this in like 20 minutes. I can't even believe it. So the only next thing to do would be to what?
Eat it.
Eat it. Joe knows. She's back. She's like, eat it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this Peep off and I'm gonna eat it as well. But look at you guys. Look at this is like the perfect cookie.
It is.
And like I said, if you guys like crumble cookies, look at how soft. Here, if I can get it, soft and delicate this is. Now it's just gonna kind of fall. No. Joe, you gotta take a bite. You gotta eat this. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, she's like, yes, it's so good. I make her eat all my stuff. Wow, that is amazing.
It's really good.
And I feel like the party cake, that like buttery flavor of the party cake peep really comes through and just kind of like complements everything else. And remember, one thing that I want to note is we've got, a teaspoon of fine table salt in here in the dough, okay? So the salt, you're not going to taste the salt. The salt just really enhances the flavors of everything. So keep that in mind. So yeah, it sounds like a lot. It's not. But anyways, you guys, that was so much fun. I enjoy being here with you so much and baking and decorating and talking you guys through, the science of things and how things work. So also, don't forget to tag PEEPSONALITY Live in your cookies. If you guys post cookies online, make sure to tag that, and make sure to tag the Hutch Oven, which is me, and Peeps brand. So then we can see and then we can share. But I would love to stay connected with you guys. So you can hop over and follow me at the Hutch Oven. I would love to connect and get to know you guys on there. So you guys, this was so much fun. I could do this every day, all day, because I just love it so much. But I will see you guys next time, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed Easter and a great day. I will see you guys later.